Hey, who can I call now? If you care.
Allow the don't push people like that.
Can we have our seats? Excellency. May I use this opportunity to welcome you on behalf of the great members of this Hallowed Chamber, the Enugu State House of Assembly. About this time last year, you were here, and we saw what you have done to our state and what you have done for our people within the period. We are pleased to have you here with us, with your dear deputy governor. You have come to roll out your programs for the year 2025. I am sure that you are aware that the Enugu State House of Assembly has been very supportive to your administration. We will continue to support you. Today you are here to do the needful. We also assure you of our continued support. Your Excellency, I know how your schedule is and the way you work. Without taking much of our time, Your Excellency, if you are ready for your people, we are ready to receive you, to receive your good news. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, Barrister Ifeanyi Osai, the Right Honorable Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Alice the Chief Judge of Enugu State, His Lordship, Honorable Justice Raymond Ozeni, the Deputy Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Ezeta Izam, the Leader, Enugu State House of Assembly, Honorable Johnson Annie, the Deputy Leader, Right Honorable Jane Ine, the Minority Leader, Right Honorable Ilo Abuchi Aniago, the Chief Whip, Enugu State House of Assembly, Honorable Jude Eze, the Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Princess Obiajulu, the Minority Whip, Enugu State House of Assembly, Honorable Chukwuma Ekweme, the Deputy Minority Whip, Honorable Anthony Mbah, revered members of Enugu State House of Assembly, former members of the National Assembly here present, the immediate past Speaker of Enugu State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Edward Uposi, and other former members of Enugu State House of Assembly here present. The PDP Chairman, Enugu State, Dr. Martin Chukwumike, and other party chieftains here with us today. The Secretary to Enugu State Government, Professor Chidebere Onya, the Honorable Commissioner for Budget and Planning, and other members of Enugu State Executive Council here present. The Emeritus Archbishop, Enugu Province of Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Chukwuma, Special Advisors, Senior Special Assistants, and Special Assistants here with us, the Argonne Chairman and Deputy Chairman of various local government council here with us, former PDP Chairman here with us today, Chairman, Enugu State Traditional Rulers Council, His Royal Majesty, Igwe Samuel Asago, and other revered royal fathers here with us. The clerk of the House and other permanent secretaries here present, heads of commissions, boards, institutions, agencies, and parastatals, chairmen of labor unions with us here, our PDP woman leader, and our other PDP women that are here with us, captains of industries, top government functionaries here with us today, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On December 5, 2023, when we rendered the 2024 budget before this hallowed chamber, we came convinced of the huge social and economic potential of this state. Hence, our decision to set ambitious goals for ourselves from the onset. Today, having run this race now for about 17 months, we're more than ever convinced that we were not mistaken. We have seen enough to confirm our belief that our vision to grow Enugu's GDP from where we met it, $4.4 billion to $30 billion, is patently achievable. Yes, Enugu State can be one of the top 3 economic pillars of Nigeria, and no citizen of this state need suffer poverty or penury. It is this enthusiasm which has informed our budget for next year, which aims at ensuring that no geographical, social, or economic segment or sector of this great state is left behind. I am, as a result, deeply pleased to present to this august gathering of our esteemed House of Assembly today the multi-year budget of 2025 to 2027 as the second budget by my administration. We see this as a valuable opportunity to double down and consolidate upon the achievements made in our first year. In our view, nothing could better exemplify our commitment to the mandate Enugu gave us about 1.5 years ago than this annual event of accountability, that is the budget speech. It is a responsibility we sought wholeheartedly and one we can only discharge with joy and appreciation. Over the last year, the Nigerian economy, which our state economy is inextricably linked to, experience gross domestic product growth of about, has experienced gross domestic product growth of about 3.49% in the last quarter. This was a report that was just released yesterday. Other economic indicators have, however, maintained somewhat negative trends so far this year. Inflation has most recently hit 33.88%, and the Naira-dollar exchange rate is currently running at about 1,750 Naira to the US dollar. Related to this, the monetary policy rate, which drives the cost of money in the economy, have been most recently revised upwardly to 27.25%. While these negative trends may still be challenges to our overall economic growth, the improving GDP growth is perhaps a sign that the worst may be over and we are about to see more aggressive growth in the future. In Enugu, for our own part, we were able to largely meet our development targets. In the very important area of education, we were able to award for the development of all our smart green schools across the state. These schools are today at various stages of completion in 245 wards, while we're still seeking suitable sites for 15 urban schools due to the built-up nature of the wards where they are located. We envisage that all 260 of these schools will be completed, equipped, staffed, and ready for classes by the commencement of the new school year in September 2025. We have also made extensive investments in developing centers of experiential learning, where teachers will be trained and retrained to prepare them for the modern methods and facilities in use at the smart schools. We are also to provide senior secondary education to graduate from the smart schools. We are developing model secondary schools across the 17 local government areas of the state. We have also commenced work on the reconstruction of our technical schools across the state in recognition of the need to build a strong workforce of technical workers to support our ambitious development goals. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the healthcare sector, we have commenced construction of 260 of type 2 primary healthcare centers in each of the wards in the state. We have also commenced the completion of the Enugu International Hospital on Rangers Avenue in Independence Layout. This hospital, upon commissioning, will reverse the trend of indiscriminate medical tourism that has plagued our country by providing world-class medical services using cutting-edge medical equipment, such as we typically travel to the east and west to find. We have also recently re-equipped and commissioned 3 type 3 primary health centers in Adani, Uzowa, local government area, Abogudu, or local government area, and Nara and Kano East local government area. These are the highest level of facilities in the primary healthcare space, ranking just below the full scale of a general hospital. With the new standard of facilities we have just installed in these hospitals, they will be able to provide surgical services, initial kidney and cardiac care, as well as highest level of gynecology and obstetric care to our expecting mothers across the states. At the tertiary level, we are expanding the facility at the Park Lane Teaching Hospital with the construction of 2 blocks of high-rise buildings. One will provide additional office spaces and accommodation for the students, while the other will house medical services department. In the power sector, we have finally commenced our journey towards building an independent power grid for Enugu State, with the effective handover of regulatory powers by the National Electricity Regulatory Commission to our own regulator, the Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission. In line with this, the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company has now incorporated and licensed a new vehicle, Main Power Limited, to manage the distribution of power in Enugu State. I'd like to take this opportunity to commend the company for the deep sense of throughout this transition period. We look forward to continuing to work with them to evolve a power sector in Enugu that will be the envy of the entire country. Very early in our journey as an administration, we identified security as a fundamental to the achievement of our governance vision and established the Distress Response Squad. We have not wavered from that position in the slightest. So in the course of 2024, we have built up arguably the most extensive camera network using artificial intelligence enabled cameras to cover all areas of the state, as well as completed the construction and equipment of a world-class command and control center, from where we are able to monitor all parts of the state and track criminal elements to facilitate their arrest and prosecution. We have also procured over 100 patrol vehicles mounted with wide range of artificial intelligence enabled street cameras to boost the operation of the DRS, the Distress Response Squad, as well as procuring over 500 communication radios, helmets, and body cameras for personnel. These additions are billed for ceremonial launch in the coming weeks. Enugu State is already very uncomfortable for criminal elements, but with this imminent enhancement to our security network, I can only say to Ndi Enugu, the best is yet to come. Our campaign to build or enhance up to Enugu's roads has continued to build steam. We have expanded the scope of our roads from the initial 90 urban and interurban roads by awarding another additional 141 urban and 20 gateway roads. These roads include the urban roads which cover all the zones in the state, such as Independence Layout, MNA, Thinkers Corner, Transekulu, Coal Camp, Eva Valley, Apapa, and all the rest of the zone. What we've done essentially is to zone the entire state. Our objective here is that the entire roads in the city would be paved. So we're not leaving any road behind or left, no road will be left out. So if you look at the list of the roads, we have largely scoped all the roads in the metropolis. And by the time we're done with 141, we'll be left with about 150 roads on paved. And the objective is that all the roads in the city will be paved. We are also, of course, addressing aggressively our interurban roads. For example, the cross-country roads and the gateway roads, such as the Abakaliki, Ugbo-Nike, Upin-Suka road, which we're converting into an ultra-modern dual carriage way. And of course, the statewide ring road network connecting Ama, Iro, Umlopa, Adani, Isoka, Ukibamba, Ukurute. So we're going to be just working on those roads. So if you are from Ama and going to Isoka, you actually want to come into the city. You can do a break all the way from Ama to Isoka. So we're working on all those sections of the road. In the transport sector, we are on the verge of commissioning our 4 ultra-modern transport terminals in Holy Ghost, Apapa, Gari, and Isoka. These terminals are expected to be commissioned by December 22 this year. we're also on the verge of launching Enugu. Enugu Air, the airline. This airline will be made a few weeks time. It's our hope that our brothers and sisters coming back for Christmas, many of them will be flying by our own people. In the same vein, we have completed all payments and are waiting the arrival of over 200 dual fuel buses, diesel and CNG. These are high capacity urban mass transit buses. These include 50 which were formerly in a state of disrepair, and we have entered agreements with Enugu to refurbish. In our view, particular element of our transportation intervention bears some emphasis. Beyond expanding our fleet of modern city buses, it supports domestic industry and helps boost high quality job creation in the state. It aligns with our strategy to introduce a new and more organized transport system, which will enhance the ease of movement across the city. In the area of tourism development, we're poised to finally commission the Enugu International Conference Center. And very soon thereafter, the presidential hotel. We have also started off the construction of the new 300-room 5-star international conference hotel adjacent to the conference center to stimulate tourism within the city and complement these initiatives. We are developing a number of tourism sites in the state, including 5 sites, namely the magical Making Hill theme park, on which our development partners are currently working on. The Ohum waterfall across, the Insude pyramids, and the Mbah forest, where we will be installing a zip line system. In addition, we will 5 urban recreation parks within Enugu City to enrich the leisure options available to residents and visitors. We have also backed our commitment to agriculture by commencing our journey towards the legalization of farming in the state with the acquisition of 275 horsepower Danish-made tractors. These are the first batch of a fleet which will ultimately get to 1,000 units. They will be available for use across the state through a tractor leasing company, which we will be activating or reactivating shortly. We have also taken major steps in the area of reactivating our government-owned enterprises. in the state, either by attracting private investment to activate them or by directly funding their reactivation. Some of these entities include the United Palm Products Limited, where we have attracted over 100 billion naira in private investments. Niger Gas, where we are intervening directly as government, and by first quarter of next year, Niger Gas will become operational. Sunrise Flour Mills, where an investor is injecting over 40 billion naira. And of course, we have the tractor leasing company and so on. We have also initiated an investment in the establishment of DNA Learning Center in the state, which will provide cutting-edge DNA and forensic services, as well as research services, making our state a major national hub in the area of life sciences. In terms of budgetary performance, the total revenue realized in the state as of October 2024 came to 459 billion 851 million 309,396 naira 47 kobo. This comes to a budget performance of 88%. Of this amount, 178 billion 354 million 494,502 naira 47 kobo is related to statutory receipts, while 136 billion 700 million is related to actual receipts, and 144 billion 796 million 814,894 naira is related to internally generated revenue. So as at October, this info has been applied to expenditure with 382 billion 427 million 920,564 naira as capital expenditure, and 76 billion 546 million 90,116 naira 18 kobo as current expenditure. This translated to a budget performance of 88%. Additionally, as at October, we have been able to grow our internally generated revenue to 286% from 37 billion in 2023. By October, we have recorded 144 billion. But we're not done yet. Additional revenues and expenditures are still expected before the end of the year, with IGR envisaged to surpass the 200 billion mark. While we may make bold to say that our progress in this past year is commendable, given the odds that were arraigned against the state's economy. we're not yet ready to rest on our oars. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great enthusiasm and pleasure that I present to you our budget of 2025, tagged Exponential Growth and Inclusive Prosperity. In crafting these budgets, we have sought to continue to lay the right foundation in Enugu to enhance the economy and attract even more private investments. In spite of the dreary economic environment across the country, for us here in Enugu, we have elected to remain bullish in our aspiration and to double down on our commitment to elevate our state to the top 3 status in terms of GDP nationally and eradicate poverty from our midst. Indeed, we see this as a vindication of our previously espoused view that sustainable national growth can only be driven from the subnational units to the federal levels and not the other way around, as we have attempted to do to date. It is on account of this that we are proposing to the House of Assembly today a budget with a total envelope of 961 billion 84 million. Against the budget for 2024 fiscal year, which totaled 521 billion, 556 billion, 386,000. This represents an 86.4% increase from the 2024 reordered budget. The budget is broken down as follows. The current expenditure, 133 billion 140 million. Capital expenditure, 837 billion 944 million. Totally 971 billion 84 million. Revenue of 559 billion 39 million, which is thus transferred to the Capital Development Fund. The total capital expenditure for the year 2025 is projected at 837 billion 944 million, as against the 414 billion for the 2024 revised budget. The current capital expenditure estimates will be funded from the sum of 559 billion 39 million to be transferred from the Consolidated Revenue Fund and the capital receipts of 278 billion 905 million to be realized as follows. external and internal aids and grants, 15 billion 200 million. Other capital receipts, 80 billion 202 million naira. Domestic loans, 55 billion naira. Multilateral institution loans, 128 billion 503 million, giving a total of 278 billion 905 million naira. On a sectoral basis, the capital expenditure is broken down as follows. Administration sector, 26 billion 873 million 613,000 naira. Economic sector, 462 billion 68 million 808,000 naira. Law and justice sector, 1 billion 60 million 448,000 naira. Regional sector, 1 billion 554 million 350,000 naira. Social sector, 345 billion 786 million 781,000 naira. To throw more light on the specifics of our physical plans for 2025, I will spend some time to the capital expenditure outlined above. In the area of our revenues, we estimated that total recurrent revenues during 2025 will amount to 692 billion 179 million naira, as against the approved revised provision of 383 billion in 2024. The current revenues for 2025 are broken down as follows. Opening balance, 32 billion. Internally generated revenue, 509 billion 947 million naira. Statutory revenue, 48 billion 749 million naira. Exchange rate differential, 26 billion 559 million naira. Value added tax, 74 billion 924 million naira, giving us a total recurrent revenue of 692 billion 179 billion naira. For 2025 fiscal year, recurrent expenditure, which is proposed at 133 billion 140 million naira. By the way, it's again doubling down. This constitutes 14% of our total budget envelope. Last year, we had 21%, but as we always committed to running a lean and agile government. Personnel costs, 58 billion 124 million. Overhead costs, 53 billion 936 million. consolidated revenue from charges 21,080,000,000 naira, giving a total recurrent expenditure of 334,140,000,000 naira. With the total recurrent expenditure of 133,140,000,000 naira, this translates to a net recurrent revenue the net recurrent revenue we have here will give us a net recurrent revenue of about 559,039,000,000 naira. So we're going to move directly into unpacking some of our capital expenditure. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as you may already have known, education is for us both sword and shield. In this battle to achieve economic growth in our states and banish poverty and want among our population. Consequently, we are maintaining the ambitious direction we charted in 2024 by voting a whopping 320,609,059,000 naira for the education sector. Again, this represents 78% of the social services sector of the budget and 33.2% of our total capital expenditure this year. These funds will be applied towards the completion, equipping, and staffing of our 260 smart green basic schools in readiness to commence in the third quarter of 2025. We will also be executing our model senior secondary schools in the 17 local government areas, as well as rebuilding and re-equipping the government technical schools across the state. Finally, we'll also be boosting the capacity of our tertiary schools by enriching their curriculum and pedagogy to convert them to experiential teaching. There can be no economic growth without quality and data services. 5,830,896,000 naira this year. This will go towards the completion of our new international hospital, as well as the construction, re-equipping, and staffing of our healthcare valley from our new 260 by 2 primary healthcare centers to the 22 new cottage hospitals and the various general hospitals across the state, slated for renovation, refurbishment, and re-equipment. In the area of works and infrastructure, we will control our relentless advance towards our target to build or refurbish all key roads across the state by 2031. With this, we will spend a total of 213 billion 120 million 267,000 naira in 2025. Prominent among the best in this envelope are, of course, the completion of the first phases of the new Enugu city, for which sales are expected to commence early next year. The completion of our 5-star ICC hotel, the dualization of our principal road, the dualization of the airport to Border road, the completion of the Amakan Ike Neke road, which will open up the eastern parts of the state to economic development, and many other roads and infrastructure projects such as the Odumanome, the Umabi Eruchi Achi, with Fort to Abogudu, Oweri, Ogugu. The list here is basically endless. Suffices to note that our development model is an inclusive economic growth. It is one that takes into account the entire state. So no section of the state is left out. So I'm sure the figure 260 has become quite, it's become a tagline, or perhaps even a mantra in our state now. But that number is not plucked from the bill. It speaks to the electoral wards in the state. So when we talk about education, it's all inclusive. We talk about healthcare, it's all inclusive. We talk about the farm estate, again, all inclusive. So we're looking at addressing our weakest points. So where, so the farm estate, for example, is designed to kick out poverty from Enugu State. The floor is 200 hectares in each ward, but we could have a cap of as much as 1,000 hectares where the land is available. It's going to, so we're taking agriculture, working with our smallholder farmers, scaling agriculture to an industrial level, where we can enhance the capacity of our smallholder farmers, while we still attract the commercial farmers who want to farm on thousands of hectares. Again, an all-inclusive governance strategy. And that's the same thing happening in the infrastructure space. The roads are all connected, and we're dealing with them across the three territorial zones of the state. We kicked off our entry into government in 2023 with a daring achievement in the water sector. But our work in that area is far from done. That's why we plan to spend another 23 billion 223 million 150,000 naira on this sector this year. This spend will be towards the completion of the second transmission line from 9 Mile to New Market to Inter. Some of you may know already, even though we have the capacity to generate 120 million liters, the transmission line we have today is only able to take 60 million at a time. So we're basically doing a second transmission line so we can transport from the production location to the storage location. So that's essentially what we're going to be spending this money to enhance our transmission into the storage facilities. And of course, the refurbishment of a number of secondary lines to carry water into a number of zones which are yet to get reliable water supplies. There are quite a number of our secondary lines that are still asbestos pipes, so we're going to have to continue to replace those ACPs, and then of course ensure that we expand the network to, I mean, we're dealing with a master plan of water network that was designed over 50 years ago. And so new layouts are built, so there is need to expand the network. So we're going to also be investing in the expansion of our secondary line network. We will also be commencing work on the scheme for the Soka metropolis, as well as a number of other small rural water schemes across the state. Food inflation is a major component of core inflation in Nigeria. Consequently, food production is critical to moderation of the currently high levels of inflation in the country. As a result, we will be spending up to 82 billion in the agriculture and agro-industrialization sector this year. Among other things, this amount will serve to fund the procurement of tractors for the use in the state, most of which will come from the local assembly plants of the Danish investors who established within the state earlier this year. In addition to this, we're launching our new modern farm estate projects across the state. By the way, this farm estate is one that, first of all, is going to be ring-fenced so that we have all our smallholder farmers in one location where we will facilitate lands and allocate to them. The idea of having them in one location, ring-fenced, is so that we can eliminate the challenges they have with herders moving into their cattle or destroy, because it's ring-fenced and there will be access to control. And then we're going to have also common facilities. We're going to eliminate the post-harvest losses. We're going to do silos, have warehouses, and then we have processing facilities. It will produce both for food and also for export. So we're going to have value-added medicine in each of the clusters. So we're going to have that across the 260 wards again in the state. Again, this project will entail the enactment of, as I said, a minimum, so that it's not a cap. 200 hectares is the minimum for us. It could go as I said, as much as 1,000 hectares of land in each of the 260 wards. And I know some of you from the urban local government will be wondering where will we find 200 hectares. We've already thought about that and we have plans for that. So for those smallholder farmers, the local government that is already organized where we can't find enough land, we're going to have a common center where we're going to obviously let the land and provide for them. For example, in the north, we will have to find in the north a place, it's the farmers there, okay, where we have land, the closest location where there's availability of land. So it will entail the earmarking of 200 hectares of land in each of the 260 wards in the state for the cultivation of staples and cash crops such as cassava, soybean, maize, pepper, vegetable, and so on. Government will collaborate with various local governments to provide access to improved farming inputs, extension services, storage to help manage post-harvest losses. We'll also work with the program leadership to ensure improved access to market, to assure the farmers of their just reward for work done. We will also be collaborating with development partners to establish special agro processing zone projects together with 3 complementary agro transformation centers in the state. In the area of transportation, we'll be spending a total of 41 billion 132,463,000 again to expand Enugu Air with the acquisition of additional aircrafts. In addition, we would also be consummating the concession of the Akanu International Airport, as well as the construction of an international cargo terminal. We will be floating a new taxi scheme in collaboration with private sector to modernize urban and interurban transportation for Enugu. Other areas of government activities which will continue to benefit from our focused activities during the year will be the security sector, where we will continue to boost the capacity of our security agencies, both federal and state, with enhanced training and equipment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we will also invest additional and considerable time and resources towards boosting our capacity to collect internally generated revenue by redoubling our efforts to digitize various elements of revenue collection. In this light, in the next few weeks, we should be commissioning the offices of the new Enugu Geographical Information System, which will provide more efficient and effective digital land services to Enugu. It is expected that once operational, you can have the comfort of your home, conduct your searches. You can also initiate the application for your title document from the comfort of your home. We expect that process for your cell phone will commence and completed maximum within 72 hours. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as you may be aware, we have been awarded the boosting grant for the National Sports Festival in 2026. We will be spending over 13 billion naira in upgrading our stadia and game facilities, including the N971 Stadium, where we will include aquatic sports facilities and the Ogo Games Village, which will be fully developed. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me once again seize this opportunity to recognize and commend your tireless and unwavering commitment to the support of our administration. It is only right to mention that the progress we have made in the course of 2024 is due in no small measure to the spirit and understanding you have shown in working with our executive. We appreciate this and we do not in any way take this for granted. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to close by noting that these are projects of exponential growth and inclusive prosperity. It's engineered to deliver access to quality learning for our kids. We expect that the investments we're making in our children today, we're going to ultimately be the beneficiary for it 10, 15, 20 years to come. It is imperative, given the speed at which the lay of the land is shifting, if we must get our children prepared to be ready at the workplace of tomorrow, we must, by design, it will not be just by a wishful thinking. By design, we must imbue them with those skills necessary for the workplace of tomorrow. And we're talking about skills like robotics, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, mechatronics, all those skills that we require to be able to ensure that our children are part of the emerging story of the new world order. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, to deliver more job for Enugu is also part of what this exponential growth budget has been designed to do. Ensure better government services and improve quality of life for Enugu. We hereby enjoin all residents of the state to continue to accompany us on this journey towards Enugu's greatness and a return to our historical preeminence. I am convinced that with you all backing us wholeheartedly, there's no mountain too high for us to surmount. Thank you all. I wish you all the best on the new year.
Your Excellency, may you lay the project on the table. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Mbah, Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Enugu, Barrister Ifeanyi Osai, distinguished Honorable colleagues, my deputy speaker, our dear revered guests, let me once again welcome all of you to the Hallowed Chambers of the Enugu State House of Assembly. Today is yet another remarkable day in the history of our dear state. What His Excellency has done is a fulfillment of the letters and spirit of Section 121, subsection 1 and 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as honored. Your Excellency, you have excellently given an account of your stewardship since you mounted the mantle of leadership. My people in the Enugu, you can agree with me that in the past 17 months, Enugu State has witnessed unprecedented economic activity. Kindly juxtapose the activities in operation for the corporation law has passed. You will understand that what we are witnessing in the state is not rocket science. But the result of the well-prepared visionary leadership driven by himself, Dr. Peter Mbah. He twisted his leadership model. Tomorrow is here. Your Excellency, sir, because you have demonstrated enormous capacity, you have activated the potential energy of the very heart of our state's economy. I want to assure you that the House of Assembly shall expeditiously consider this one and give you the legal framework to continue flying. On behalf of the House of Assembly, I say thank you, Excellency. And to our revered guests, I say thank you for coming and being part of this. God bless all of us. Distinguished guests, we have with the help of His Excellency provided enough